What is going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another episode of the Kingdom Says. I am your host, as always, Garrett Williams, and I am joined today by my two usual co-hosts. As always, we've got Kyle Henning on the top right of the screen. Kyle, how are we doing tonight, sir?
Doing pretty good. Ready to talk football this episode, like football things and stuff. So ready to do that.
Yeah, we sure are going to talk some good old-fashioned football today. Also joining us on the bottom of the screen, Arrowhead Tom. How are we doing tonight, Tom?
Oh, my blood pressure's finally come down after the whole weekend debacle, and we're on to Cincinnati or New England.
New England.
Yeah, whatever. We're on
the Patriots.
No, that was the joke. We're on to remember the.
Oh yeah,
never mind.
He said that. It was the thing.
It was an allusion to. Anyways, I'm better today than I was the last time I saw your beautiful faces. So, feeling better.
That's good. That's
feeling
good.
a lot better than the Chargers too.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty low bar to clear right now. They are getting their butts whooped on Thursday Night Football by the Raiders right now.
That doesn't even cover it. It is.
Yeah.
Guys, it is 63-7, and there was 14:31 to go in the fourth quarter when that's the score.
So that's pretty crazy. At least we're not that. So Chiefs fans have to be a little bit appreciative.
People are like, we're going to lose the AFC West. Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Danger Russell Wilson might be the only threat to us. But
they got Detroit this week. We'll see what they look like too when they get done with this weekend.
Yeah. So definitely a big week here in Chiefs Kingdom after this past Bills loss has kind of settled and waffled throughout the NFL. All the press conferences and just all the reports and the different things. And did you guys see the report that the refs told Kadarius Toney that he did get one?
You mean after they said in the full report that they didn't?
Yeah. And then there's like trying to gaslight him into thinking that he did get warned.
I'm
pretty
so
funny.
done with this nonsense.
Pretty hilarious.
It's really disgusting that we spent 35 minutes last podcast episode covering exactly what's wrong with the NFL, and then Roger Goodell came out and did exactly what Tom and I said he would do if he wanted to continue being the same head shoved somewhere person he was. And guess what we got? Exactly what we expected. So they were right.
Well,
I would like to completely miss the point. I would like to completely miss the point. My name is Roger, and I am here to miss the point as glowingly as possible while not answering your question. Like, I get Andy Reid's speech, but that was just we knew it was coming. So moving on to actual football stuff, it's going to be nice. I just wish that we could get some actual honesty and credibility from either the officials of the league ever. But we know that. So that's everybody. That's all the teams. Yeah. That's all anybody in the league that's a fan should want for all the teams.
Yeah, hopefully we one day see the day that does take place. But for now, we will talk just about the football aspect of it because that's kind of the only thing that we can control. Although, also some parts that you can't control. But, it is what it is. Chiefs playing the Patriots this week. It was going to be on Monday Night Football, but the Patriots are so bad this season that it actually got flexed out for the first time, I think ever. That's the first Monday Night Football game to ever get flexed out after the rules change that they did.
Oh, there's been flexes, but there's never been Patrick Mahomes flexed out of a primetime game.
Yeah.
The flex game.
Yeah, they flexed a couple, last year, the year before, somebody got flexed out. There's been a couple that have been like, we thought this game was going to be good, and it's like, holy crap, both teams are awful. Get that out of there. I have not seen a one-sided, holy crap, that team's so bad we can't have them play in primetime. That is what's taking place in New England right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not looking very hot over there in New England, in which the game will be at this Sunday. Chiefs going over to Foxborough and Gillette Stadium. We have a little bit of history there. Obviously, we're a little familiar with that stadium. Of course, the team on the other side of that is a lot different than the team that we have faced in previous years. They currently don't really have a quarterback. Well, actually, they have two quarterbacks, which means that you have no quarterbacks. Kind of one of those classic things.
Bailey Zappi's not your guy?
I mean, Bailey Zappi is slinging it. He does.
What about Mac Jones?
I will not stand for Bailey Zappi slander on this podcast.
What about Mac
Jones?
That's
a Western Kentucky University. Yeah, no. We used all of our censorship last podcast, but Mac Jones can go back to Alabama and be a used car salesman. As he should have been the first time, not the 10th overall draft.
for him. Maybe he'll probably be an offensive coordinator. He'll probably be a
Nick Saban rehabilitation project 7
Yeah.
years from now when he's trying to find him a job because he's a former
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. Nick will
That's
get him a job on the staff. You know, he'll be in there somewhere.
Nick will
But
be 81 coaching at that point or whatever. No biggie.
him and Bill,
the Mac Jones. I never understood the Mac Jones hype as a prospect. Like they're like he's really smart. I'm like, dude, the guy is not. Well, first of all, he plays with like one of the best receiving rooms that the NCAA has ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking. I think there were like 5 first-round draft picks, including like 2 or 3 of them that went in the top 10. Yeah, and then all he did was just like, all right, okay, boom, and like if you just watched him, like it just, I don't know, they're like his mental processing,
5,000-yard receivers, 2,000-yard tight ends, and a whole Hall of Fame offensive line, college Hall of Fame offensive line for like his whole career.
Yeah. No, listen, Tim Tebow could have broke records and. Yeah, I just never got it with Mac.
But Bill took him, so he was going to be good because Bill thought he was good.
Yeah, no, didn't Bill
that was always
try that with somebody? I don't know. Bill's
very weird kind of situation when he got drafted, obviously, because when he was when he was coming out, like the whole rumor was that the Niners were going to draft him, and then like basically the day of the draft, they decided to go with Trey Lance instead, and
better player,
but
yeah, still. Didn't quite work out for him either way, but Mac Jones that draft, he kind of just fell to the Patriots, and it's always weird when a quarterback falls to a team and they just select him.
He kept falling.
Exactly. And then it's like weird when it's just like, all right, we didn't have to trade up. I guess we'll just pick him. It's like, well, what does that say about?
There may be a reason that dude went from top 5, top 7 hype to not being drafted until 20. Now you could also end up with an Aaron Rodgers thing, because.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it happens.
Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is the last one to really slide, and that's because
he's a freak.
Guys, I'm moving things around over here. I had to let Scout in. So
Lamar's the last one, and that's because he is athletically a freak, not because he was some insane quarterback at the time when he was taken. Now he's developed and become a much better passer, but that's not the same. Him and Aaron Rodgers are the exception to the rule, not the rule.
If you guys want me to be really controversial on this podcast for a moment, part of the reason why Lamar Jackson slid is because the NFL is still
old,
biased, racist. I mean, racist is a strong word in the context of the actual racist stuff that happens in this country every day, but in the sense of people looked at him, all the comments about, he should play running back. He should play running back. That's not really rooted in. I mean, he is an excellent runner. Don't get me wrong, but that's a big reason why it took a very long time before there were any black quarterbacks in college or in the NFL. It's because they went, he's fast. Yeah, he's not smart, and it's the same reason why they get duped by guys like Mac Jones. Respectfully. They go, well, look, a little white Alabama guy who's really smart. I bet he's going to be good at quarterback. And that just doesn't work in today's NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm, again, not trying to rip off. This is not a take I expected to jump into tonight, but it's something that as I'm working through my own process with watching prospects and stuff, one of the things that I'm kind of checking myself is the tendency, and not just myself, I've caught other people doing this, the tendency to compare prospects to other prospects or to other players who just happen to share the same skin color. And it's trying to, I know. So
happens at the wide receiver position a lot, especially in the other direction.
No, I know. So a lot of it is the unconscious bias. And also I just, So
But to your point, it's a league thing because they literally put out a study today about how much better the league has gotten about including increasing their ratio of race and genders that are different than old white guys.
Yeah, well, and it's the same thing. It's there's no white cornerback.
They fund studies for this stuff, so it's not like we're out here splitting an atom when we're talking about this stuff.
Yeah, breaking news: Cooper DeJean is on his way. But
wait, so you're telling me his comp isn't Jason Sehorn, Tom? What the heck? What do you mean?
Yeah, no. Actually, somebody said he's probably going to play safety, and I'm like, I swear to God, if I hear somebody say Harrison Smith, I'm roundhouse kicking him.
Because I know exactly where that one's going. That's Harrison Smith now.
Let me get some Reed Blankenship in there or something,
Yes. yeah, not to get off on that tangent, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just it's something that I've become more aware of. It's a conversation I'm sure I'll have with the Kingdom Recon guys, like when we get into this season of like comparing guys, just because it is, and it's a hard thing to do, and it's a lot of times it's unconscious, but like we can do. It's an area where we can do better, and I know the NFL can do better, and not just the NFL. Because you think about it, like I know guys switch positions all the time, but quarterbacks, like, there's not a lot of people who get switched to quarterback. You hear all the time about people getting switched away from quarterback, but not a lot of players get switched to quarterback.
Very common to have a former quarterback playing.
Everybody
receiver,
wants to play quarterback. All the best
or
players were quarterbacks when they were kids. That's usually how it works. Like if you were the best player on your team, you got the ball. So
you're the best player. You're the best player in your entire city.
Or you're going to make 9 people miss and run to the end zone.
Yeah, or
you're the best player in your city.
Another perfect example is who was the guy a couple years ago who, when the late Dwayne Haskins was coming out, and they talked about his like mobility. One, tell me that you didn't watch a day of him in your life, but we don't just randomly guess about white guys' mobility in the pocket. Like it's not something we just randomly talk about for So it's one of those things that I've become kind of aware of myself that I'm trying to be better about. And it's also an area that like, I don't know. I feel like when we get in the conversation about how does Mac Jones go so high? Well, Alabama, white quarterback, smart.
Wonderlic the Wonderlic test, which is a complete and total sham if you've listened to anybody who's ever taken the thing.
Oh yeah, no. Have you guys ever taken the Wonderlic test?
I've seen them. I've seen the simulations.
I have taken a Wonderlic.
They're
the real
stupid. One. They're so stupid. They're like
there
if you had 30
are some brain teasers. I'll tell you that much.
Of them, and then beat a homeless guy with 2 of them. How many hot dogs do you have left? And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why am I beating a homeless guy with a hot
dog? There are some
dog?
interesting little brain puzzles, but shouldn't be any kind of way to accurately kind of measure.
It measures absolutely.
And then there was the new test the past couple of years with the S2 test or whatever, the one that like CJ Stroud got really dinged on for, and then hey, guess what? CJ Stroud's kind of a dog, kind of crazy, but maybe
that's what they really need to start doing is X-raying guys and seeing who's got that dog in them.
I've been saying it, just measure them on the dog meter. Yeah, just break out the old dog meter, dial them up, get the measurements, and figure that out because that's the biggest thing. So yeah, all that to say that Mac Jones definitely was overdrafted, and
a half.
Definitely not a successful career, I'd say, in New England. So definitely
maybe it's New England's fault because who knows? Maybe Bill's not good without Tom.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of he had a couple different coordinators in his time there. He obviously had Josh McDaniel and then Bill O'Brien, which both of them have historically not been the greatest on their own in their own capacity.
Bill O'Brien gets a bad rap. I'll say that. Bill O'Brien did a lot of things in Houston right. Being a GM, not one of them, but he did a lot of things in Houston right when it came to winning games and doing things of that nature. Did he win anything super important? No. Did he do the best with what he had before he became GM down there? Yes.
I would just say
when they shouldn't have in some instances.
But yeah, it definitely might have contributed a little bit just being Mac Jones going to the Patriots organization. I think there's a decent chance, and that's the kind of conversation with Brock Purdy in the 49ers offense. There's a decent chance if Mac Jones goes to the 49ers, maybe he has a little bit better career because he's used in a different way, developed a little more properly with a guy like Kyle Shanahan who knows how to develop a quarterback.
More to Tom's point about the stuff we just delved into Mac Jones for as long as we did, that same thing tracks for Josh McDaniels being the offensive coordinator, if that makes any sense at all, based on everything we know about Josh McDaniels, the head coach, and Josh McDaniels, the decision maker, and Josh McDaniels, person.
I mean, there's a lot.
Josh McDaniels got 2 head coaching jobs before Eric Bieniemy got 1. Makes me want to fight.
He got 3 head coaching jobs. He screwed the Colts. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I want to fight people. It makes me want to genuinely fight everybody.
You got 3 head coaching jobs before you got 1. It's crazy.
Pretty crazy. So yeah, safe to say that the Patriots definitely are not looking great right now. I think they're all, per a lot of reports, it does seem like this might be Bill Belichick's last season in New England, which all good things must come to an end eventually, and he has definitely struggled without having Tom Brady there. Also, I mean, that's kind of
drafting too.
Yeah, well, that was always the Patriots kind of thing, though. It's like you really just have a bunch of random pieces that you just kind of acquire from random like D2 schools, and then you have Tom Brady, so it's okay. And so once you don't have that aspect of it, I think the whole drafting D2 guys in the first round and drafting like a 4th round lineman in the first round and stuff like that, like that's when it starts to really get amplified when you don't have like a big star quarterback and stuff like that to kind of bail you out from it. So, it's definitely Bill Belichick will obviously go down as the greatest head coach of all time. But it's probably nearing the end of his time, at least with the Patriots. Maybe he'll go and take the Chargers over in something next season. And who knows?
Why would you do that? First of all, second of
Chargers?
No, why would you do that? I'm not talking about why would Bill do that. Why would you do that? Why would you even put that potential? We already have Sean Payton to deal with.
Yeah.
And all the other nonsense. Are you just
I'm just reading the tea leaves. I'm just reading the tea leaves, man. I'm reading the reports.
The Chargers are notoriously cheap. And Bill's expensive.
I mean, that's true, but
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. He could go coach at Navy. That's always a possibility.
He could just, retire and go do like studio
right off.
He'd be really good at it.
Yeah, I don't know if Bill would be the type of guy that would want to retire yet. At least I don't know. He might really ride it until
he's
the coattails.
Die on the sidelines. Let's not. Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
I mean, he's been good in those studio roles and the little limited kind of things that we've seen in him, but man likes coaching ball. All right, he's going to be coaching ball somewhere.
He looks like he's having a whole hell of a lot of fun coaching ball right now.
Well, he'll probably go to like a D2 school and just go kind of retire somewhere and just kind of have a nice, easy life.
The Quincy University Hawks are looking for a head coach. They're
okay. Southwest Missouri Valley State.
All of that said, if they really do. If they really do move on from him and not let him make his choice, it will be a little bit surprising on that aspect. Just because, I know it's Robert Kraft's team and everything, and there's eventually a time limit where it's too long, but dude's earned a lot of equity. He's brought you a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
even if
it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting to see
whether you're Team Tom or Team Bill. Somebody brought them a lot of things in that time window that should buy a lot of grace with the fan base and the ownership.
I would suspect that they're going to trade Bill. They'll work with him to find a place where he wants to go. And I just happen to know of a place with a young what's the college?
Stereo in Houston?
No, there's a college that Nick really likes to draft from, especially quarterbacks, and a team that's going to need a head coach that just drafted a quarterback from that college, and also with an owner who has a very fat
Carolina
checkbook. Yeah, and then they're going to try to look good. That would be my guess.
Bama Light.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, to me, that makes the most sense.
The only reason I brought
Bill's going to get a fat check from Taper. But also
because of Nick Caserio and them being a Looney Tunes factory of money also.
Yeah, well, but D'Amico Ryans is killing it.
D'Amico Ryans is a dog. He don't have that
agree
for a while. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I would be pissed for D'Amico if that happened, but I've seen that ownership do really, really stupid things a lot. So
no, yeah. I think Carolina is going to be the most willing to pay for both. So
that dude that's David Tepper, right?
Yeah,
that guy is.
They'll throw him like a mid-round pick this year, and then if they make the playoffs next year, they'll get like a first, and then
he's going to throw Bill like $40 million.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Here's the deal with the Patriots. They are awful, and I think playing for draft picks at this point, this should be a game to get really comfortably right on. Also, they're injured. They're injured, especially their number one running back. Ramondre Stevenson did not participate either day this week already.
Good to know.
Trent Brown was limited and did not participate. Ankle hand illness. That's not good. That's their starting tackle.
Oh, his hand and his ankle are sick?
Dang. Get well soon.
Apparently.
Foot and mouth disease kind of.
Yeah, not great. They've also got Kayshon Boutte and Devontae Parker both limited this week. Juju was limited both. Juju's always limited, by the way, guys. We know this. We've been down that road.
He had a big game last week.
Christian Barrymore limited both days.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got Brendan Schooler sick. But then the rest of this it's like they've got, 4 of their wide receivers are on the injury report. And Tyquan Thornton wasn't on the injury report Wednesday and is now on the injury report as limited with a hamstring. So
going the wrong way.
Good for them.
Definitely not trending in the right direction, obviously. And they've kind of had a patchwork line and players all year. It seems like that's kind of been the case for them. But even when they have a fully healthy loadout, I mean, Ramondre Stevenson probably won't be going for the game, so you'll have Ezekiel Elliott out there running the rock. So that's interesting. Juju, obviously, you got Devontae Parker, who's limited. Jalen Reagor is on the Patriots now, so not the most
Jalen Reagor's
intimidating.
Yes, he plays for the Patriots. Didn't you know that? I've known that for at least 30 seconds now since you said it.
Turns out, breaking news, he does play for the Patriots now.
You could have asked me 15 times where that dude played football right now, and I would have guessed teams in Canada and the Arena League.
Yeah. So offensively wise for the Patriots, definitely not looking very hot for them. Obviously, with the Chiefs defense being what they are, seems like I said, should be a very nice get right game. Dial up some pressures and whatnot, some exotics.
Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of injuries on the Chiefs side of the football.
Yeah, there's a decent amount. There's a really
good chance you're going to be missing Mike Edwards and Brian Cook, obviously, because Brian Cook's on IR.
Brian Cook is on IR.
But Mike Edwards was a DNP both days this week. Donovan Smith ain't playing. Isaiah Pacheco ain't playing.
Yep.
You can basically write those 3 down. I don't think you will see either of those 3 on any of the 3 I just mentioned at all. Good to see that Leo's feeling better-ish because he was sick and didn't participate on Wednesday. Yeah. And then
was Edwards also sick, or was his? I thought
Edwards is sick. It's sick. It's illness, but he's DNP both days, and that's not great. If you're that sick, that's bad.
I'd say there's still a chance he could play, but let's not hold our breaths. But
and then of course you've got Justin Reed on the injury report still with a knee, even though he's been a full participant. It's still listed, because you're supposed to do that as when there's treatment anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I think one of the biggest things to note on the Chiefs injury report is Drew Tranquil being a full participant the past 2 days.
My good news. You're going to say the only good news that's on the injury report this week.
That's pretty huge. Having all the linebackers fully participating in practice once again. Well, Nick Bolton was limited, but at least he's practicing. Drew Tranquil getting back out there, that's huge.
Nick can be limited for the rest of the freaking season as long as he plays on Sunday. I do not care.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I guess maybe the only other mostly notable thing is Justin Ross returning from suspension this week, which we talked about it a little bit, but he was on the commissioner's exempt list, and then they were like, oh yeah, he's suspended for 6 games, but that 6 games already happened, so he's back next week. So here he is.
Convenient,
That is convenient. That's one of the first times that I've seen the NFL handle something like that.
It's almost like time served. If your team is proactive and just doesn't let guys play because they're good at football and who cares if they abuse women. But
what do you mean Sunday? What happened Sunday? When?
No.
Yeah. But I don't know much what we'll really see from Justin Ross, if anything. Probably won't see much from him, honestly. I hate to break it to people. Probably won't see much of Justin Ross. Maybe a catch or two.
For a couple reasons, I think. I will say this about Andy and them. They don't traditionally reward you with a whole lot of opportunity coming out of a suspension right away. They typically go, yeah, you're back, but that was still really dumb, and we're not just going to give you everything all back at once.
Yeah. I mean, plus he
I'll
wasn't
grant
really
Andy
getting.
that they traditionally don't just green light guys, especially guys that really didn't have a gigantic role before they
Yeah,
got
that's the thing. He really wasn't doing
game.
much before. Anyways, there was a lot of clips of him, like all the other receivers, kind of struggling to know what they're doing on some routes and lining up and whatnot, which is.
And now he's been out of the building for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
so
really helpful.
let's not get too. Let's keep our expectations realistic.
Yeah,
as hard as that is for us sometimes as fans. Yeah, I mean, do we want to talk about the offense? I mean, we expect a pretty solid game from the defense. You know, mostly.
Yeah, the defense should be. I mean, should be an okay game for the defense. Yeah,
it should be pretty solid in that end.
Offensively wise for the Chiefs, obviously that's kind of been the theme every single week we talk about if the offense can just figure it out. Versus this Patriots defense, I mean, historically the Patriots defenses have been at least better, but not a super huge threat coming into it this week.
Well, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Garrett. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that. So that's the thing about Bill Belichick. You know, he is maybe the best coach at taking away your best option, like your best weapons on offense. I'm just going to remind you guys that, you know, at one point in, before this past Sunday, the only team that had shut, Mahomes out in a half of football was Bill Belichick and the Patriots, and that's with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on the roster. He will make you play, left-handed as possible. And so one of two things is going to kind of happen here. We're going to see, so Travis Kelce, he gets a lot of attention anyways. He's going to get a lot of attention. I would guess because, people are pretty smart. I mean, Bill's pretty smart. Rashee Rice is going to get more attention than he's gotten so far. And so if we have a quiet game from Rashee Rice, please don't come after the kid. I will be in your mentions if you're like, oh, Rashee Rice even sucks. Because we're going to fight. We're going to fight in the parking lot because this is what they do, right? And then everybody else is going to man up. So this is your chance. You have opportunities, right? And this is going to tell you a lot about, I mean, honestly, this could, and it sounds silly, like to go, oh, this could cost somebody a job. This could cost guys their job in the offseason. I'm talking about MVS. I'm talking about Kadarius Toney. I'm talking about even Sky Moore. If you cannot play and be the third option and just be good, just good enough to be a viable option, this is the game that's going to tell you yes or no. A lot of these guys feel like the writing's on the wall. We're holding our breath for a breakout from one of them. If you're going to do that, it's going to have to be this game because, I mean, and Andy's, again, the counterbalance that is Andy is really good at scheming up screens and kind of getting guys open and working through that attention. But it's going to be tough sledding. And if there is an opportunity for a player to pop out, it might even be Justin Watson. But
maybe Richie James get him in there.
Yeah, Richie James could get some love.
That's what
we're going to have to deal with. It's probably going to be a quiet day for Travis. That's just the nature of the beast. And then they're going to give Rashee Rice a lot of attention. And that's just going to be how it is now. Rashee's pretty good. I think he'll get some of his, but yeah. And the other thing about the Patriots and their defense, we talked about, the psychology of officiating a little bit in our last episode. Bill Belichick is one of the pioneers of that. He will have his defensive backs hold you all game and just dare the officials to throw flags. And so the guys, Sky Moore is going to have a long day because I've said it before. His play strength, through his routes, not there. MVS going to have to get off that line. He's got to figure it out. If Justin Ross is active, he might get to play a little bit because they're going to need somebody who's physical and can be a little bit more. I don't want to say bigger bodied, but a little more physical in their play style. Same thing with Justin Watson, who I think is a little underrated in his physical style. But you're going to have to earn it against this team, and if you don't, I think that says a lot about your viability as an NFL caliber player. That's
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So, to an extent,
pretty fair.
to a point on that point. Yes, all of what Tom said is traditionally accurate for the Patriots. Here's the thing. You tell me which part of making this offense play left-handed is which hand is left and which hand is right.
The right hand is Travis Kelce with the little
Travis,
pinky
which
on the
they
right
do anyway.
hand.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then,
Well,
the
but
rest
also
of this
Rasheed
becomes-
Rice. I expect them to take.
Yeah.
I expect Rasheed
and
Rice
that's
to get
fair. So,
extra
but
attention.
here's the other part. That means you're taking away, and then you're going to allow. Well, now Pacheco not being in really makes the difference in this game for me because
that's it.
That would have
that
been huge
takes
to have
away.
pounding the rock.
If the Chiefs have their run game, Bill has a lot harder time dealing with Travis. That's traditionally been the way it goes. Because if you have to respect the run game, it's harder to cover Travis and respect the run game. Because Travis is going that way, and the run game may be going the other direction, and then you got guys going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you either choose Travis or you choose the run game.
The thing with Andy and Bill has always been this. It's the battle of playing with your left hand. Well, Andy's about as good as anybody at playing with his left hand. And that's why you've seen in years where Andy and them go out, and even with Alex Smith as the quarterback and other without weapons in some instances, go out and absolutely hammer what is supposed to be a really good Patriots team, defense, loaded up. Like, remember when we retired Tom Brady a long time ago, and then, we didn't?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when he got benched on that Monday night game in like week 2 or whatever it was? Or was it
won the Super Bowl that year, didn't he?
Opener?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was like the end of Tom Brady, and turns out it wasn't. And then guys, Andy.
There were a couple ends to that Tom Brady dynasty, and this never came.
So
until he left.
That is why.
So he decided.
This game for me is an opportunity for this offense, and specifically this wide receiver core and that wide receiver coach, to focus on the basics. And I know it sounds stupid talking about basics in
good luck with that.
of a season, but sometimes you need to reset when you're doing something and you think you've gone over the basics and we covered it all in training camp, and now we're 13 weeks into the season and we still suck at the basics. Well, you may not want to, but it's time to focus on the basics. Line up correctly. Listen to your quarterback when you're standing on the line of scrimmage. Watch, now, Justin Watson's getting killed for his comments, which I hate, because what he said in the comments was, guys have been in, we've been watching more film, doing all the things we traditionally do, just doing them more. But the quotes running around is all the first part of that, not the rest of that quote. So then he gets murdered. It's fine. They've got a chance over this week and the next 3 following, because we just watched whatever that was, and 2 of those teams, we play both of those teams coming up. And this, by the way, is a Raiders team that put up 0 points the week before. So they have a chance to do the fundamentals correctly. That includes coaching staff and players. And when I say coaching staff, not just during the week, but in the game. For example, if Dan Orlovsky can sit on his tape and break down that he was lining up offsides all game, hey, Connor, you should probably be able to see that when you're looking at your tablet on the sideline, Haas. That's something you should be looking at. That's kind of your job. And again, I don't want to be Richard Sherman and call for somebody to be fired at halftime with an Uber rideshare service, but it's getting to the point where it's about that time. You either figure out the basics, and this is, as Tom mentioned, for Sky Moore, MVS, Kadarius, all these guys, and for Connor. Figure it out. Get the basics under control. Do the little things, the basic things. Then worry about the big shit. But this next 3 weeks, 4 weeks is the opportunity to do that. And with Andy doing that against a Bill Belichick team, he brings his A game for Bill. He does it every time because he knows what Bill is. So they better
second
go out.
Best head coach in NFL history, right behind Andy Reid.
They better go out and execute Andy's game plan. And you're right; they're playing for jobs. They have to win out. They need to win every single one of these games.
Yeah, we control our own destiny in that point, so that's at least something. But definitely need a couple other things to fall
They
into
better
place for us to
run
still get
Paul
that one seed
Clyde,
or
even though
whatnot.
some of
But
you hate it. They need to run
unfortunately
the
for
ball
Chiefs
Clyde.
fans, you do have to face the reality that Connor Embry will not be getting fired probably this season.
No. But he
Yeah,
needs
it's
to
just
step
not
up
gonna
right
happen.
now and prove that he can actually figure out the basics of coaching the position, or he needs to,
Yeah.
or he's not going to be there next year in that spot.
Yeah, that he probably won't do that either. If we're being, let's just be real with ourselves here. If we haven't seen the improvement in the first 15 or whatever weeks, we're probably not going to see it the last 4. It's just is what it is. The wide receivers literally just have to step up on their own and figure it out because
They need
they're
to
not going to
execute.
get it from their coach. They're not going to get it from their wide receiver coach, Connor Embry. It's just not going to happen. Like Justin Watson's quote kind of said, they literally just all up to them of doing the more extra work and
Players only meetings. That's what we're.
Yeah.
And what I loved to hear
Not quite
him
that,
say
I
in
don't
that
think.
quote was the part about watching film with the quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
that,
pretty crucial.
That should
so
be
you understand.
I think I said it on
understand
the
what they're
episode with
looking
Tom.
at. Yeah.
I think I said on the episode with Tom. That should be every day. Every film session that the quarterbacks and the receivers are in the building, they should be watching film together if they're watching film.
Yeah. That's we'll see if that ends up affecting him at all. If that makes any kind of difference this week. I'm not holding my breath though. I'll just say that. But definitely not expecting, in my eyes, for the Chiefs to walk into Foxborough and put up a convincing performance. I think they'll still win. I'm not that negative on the entire thing, but it does. I don't know. Until I see it, it's going to be hard to believe that the Chiefs can put together a complete game once again. But we will see. We want to get into some score predictions here before we get out of this thing.
What's the matchup you're watching most this weekend?
I think the way I look at it, the Patriots and their defensive backs, they signed J.C. Jackson once again after he had a pretty rough go of it in San Diego, or in L.A., I should say, not San Diego.
He might as well have been in San Diego when he was in L.A.
Yeah, it was a pretty brutal, rough road for him.
It's been pretty brutal for him back in New England too.
Yeah, it hasn't been much better in New England, honestly. That might be the matchup that I kind of look for is the receivers versus J.C. Jackson. Jonathan Jones is back there at cornerback still.
Jones is
just
solid,
not the
man.
not the most intimidating defensive back room for him. Obviously, Kyle Duggar back there at safety, Jabril Peppers.
Duggar's a dog.
Duggar's a dog.
Like
Peppers is also kind of a dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Jabril's been up and down since he came out. He was good. Then he came out and he struggled a little, and then he played really well down.
He got drafted by the Browns, so I mean, that's what
I know.
What can you do?
Situations matter.
Yeah. He's
I like your point about the secondary, that's what I was hoping you would say, honestly, because I think the matchup for me, and the reason I wanted to really touch on this is Tom mentioned a bunch of guys, and when he was rolling through it, he didn't say Kadarius's name originally. No, in the original piece, right? When you were just kind of rapping through, when you like Sky and the MVS and even Justin Watson, there was no KT in that little segment, in that little specific piece.
Don't do this.
He's 100% there. But the reason that I think you may have just kind of accidentally omitted when you were running through the list, we talk about chances for a game to fix things and get right and feel better. This game, if they choose to do what they tried to do in week 1, this game, he's the guy that's most resemblant to the guy that's given Bill and that defense fits. They have an opportunity to go in and use a game plan similar to how they used to use Tyreek out of the backfield, in the swing game, in the screen game, in the short, intermediate, quick slant game, in the little small areas, in combination with Travis, like they used to do with Tyreek, that used to drive the Patriots crazy. If they choose to do that, you could see him fix his confidence, fix his game, and get on track. And then you have real options, because then you have Rasheed, you have a threat with Kadarius, even if it's in a different role than a traditional wide receiver. Well, we used Tyreek in a different role than a traditional wide receiver for his whole career, and it worked out pretty damn well. He's one of the best in the league at it. So there is there is the opportunity for Andy to go in with a game plan and do what he has done to Bill before with this personnel group if they execute it. Kadarius Toney against that secondary. Pick your matchup is my matchup to watch this week.
Yeah, it does sound nice. It does sure sound nice.
I'm over here planting these seeds the whole episode, and you just steal it out from underneath me, Kyle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I agree. I think this could be the Kadarius Toney revenge game, or he's going to lay down. I don't know. I saw his interview earlier when he said, he just straight up said the ref lied, and like the look on his face, like, when he got here, he was all smiles. This man was ready to murder someone. Like
he said, "We're moving on. It's little stuff."
Yep. If we get serious Kadarius, like locked in, focus. Whoa.
That is a different animal.
I'm going to cheat though. I will give you another one. Same matchup that I was watching very closely last week, and we'll continue to watch for the rest of the season. And I think it's crucial. Wanya Morris, big guy, you're giving me hope, and I'm ready to put a ring on it, man. If you just give me a couple more games of this, you had a tough matchup last week. You did solid. Wasn't a world beater, but like third round rookie. I wouldn't have known that you were, I wouldn't have known that you were the third round rookie out there. You didn't false start. You lined up correctly.
That's big.
So
it's hard to do.
And I think there was only one rep, and it wasn't. I mean, it was Von Miller. So it's like, you're allowed to get beat by Von Miller, one of the greatest to ever do it.
Mitch Schwartz is like, yeah, Von sucks going against, by the way. So if Mitch doesn't like it, third round rookie that's played like 2 games just gets one against Vaughn.
He
I
gets
don't
one.
even think that was really a loss. It was more of a neutral that ended up in a loss because of pocket and protection and receipt. Like,
no, Vaughn just was superhuman off the line. Yeah. There was. I mean, your options for like really beating that was becoming like superhuman.
Yeah.
That was essentially the strategy.
Sometimes
he probably went back to the sideline, and Andy Heck just went, "Next time we'll chip." Because it was just one of those.
Pretty much all you can do in that situation. Luckily, not as intimidating of pass rushers from New England.
They've got
some dudes.
Is Judon still there?
Some blitzes. Who?
Is Judon still there?
Yeah, Judon is still there. But like I said, the biggest thing for me,
Judon,
not having to fill that left tackle hole in the offseason will be huge. From a team building standpoint, from a draft standpoint, from a financial standpoint. So everybody in Chiefs Kingdom should be the biggest Wanya Morris fan right now.
Oh, yeah.
Go get some jerseys. Like, let's get this kid, make sure this kid is the real deal. So
that's part of the reason I took Kadarius, because I figured you would go Wanya, and you have far more room to talk about Wanya than I do, because I'm basically in the I can watch tackles and I can watch line play, and I know what I'm looking at, but I ain't breaking it down for you. So that matchup is extremely important, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
He
had some close ones. I think he had a couple pressures that I don't know. He just got I don't want to say the yips, but like plays that you're like, okay, I think you can make that play. You just didn't, because you don't, probably just don't have the reps.
Not comfortable yet.
Yeah. And there were a couple times where like, and playing with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback is a pretty different game. Because you got to play till you hear whistles every time. So,
and his pocket drop is not the same pocket as you've set your entire life, pretty much.
Yep. So there's some nuance there, but overall, very encouraged.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, just to note, Matthew Judon is on IR. He will not be playing.
Is he?
He is on IR.
Getting banged up earlier this year. Then that would explain why their defense hasn't been as lights out.
Yeah, he hasn't been there in a little while. I don't know if he's close to being back or not soon, but I don't see any reports of him being activated. So I'm not sure what his injury was, but he will be out. Christian Gonzalez, their first round pick corner, is also out.
He's on IR. No, he's
Yeah.
done. Matthew Judon suffered a torn tricep and bicep.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
in
that'll
like
do it.
early October. So no, we won't be seeing Matthew Judon.
yeah. So Wanye, you don't really have much to
That's
worry about. You got like Dietrich Wise and
Is Barrymore
Lawrence
might
guy, I
play.
think
He
is
was.
still
I know
there.
Barrymore might play. Christian Barrymore was a good prospect coming out. I haven't seen much
Yeah.
of it out of him since he
Yeah.
left college.
He's in the inside. They got a Keon White.
Listen, Keon White, that's an athletic freak, man.
They got Keon
dude.
White. You know.
That dude's an athlete.
That man's
So
a scary man.
I'm like I said, I want to see them run the ball, but I also really would like to see them build a game plan to see what they can do from that little bit of a scat slot, switch out wide receiver, weird motion back, that kind of stuff. We've seen them doing it, portions of it throughout the last few weeks. Just do it. Just
No jet
actually
sweeps,
do it.
No jet sweeps though.
He looked like Terrell Davis on one run earlier. that one play. I get.
Yep.
It's they have the stuff. We've talked about play calling ad nauseum before. I just am ready for them to do the things we've seen them do before. Multiple tight end sets.
Yep.
Use the receiving talent to the things that they're good. Like this is stuff we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks. Just do the things.
Just do it.
Basics.
Yeah, just do it.
This is why I said do the basics. This is why my whole point for this whole show from my end has been do the basics and you will win the rest of these games and be on one to go into the playoffs. Do the basics.
Yeah. Just got to see that happen.
Yeah.
Just got to see them actually do that.
Get her done.
Very hard this year. So, score predictions before we get out of here. Who wants to go? Who wants to go first? Tom, take it away.
24-10 Kansas City.
Okay, 24-10.
24-10?
24-10.
Garrett?
Still disappointing, but better.
I am leaning towards the ballpark of 13-10 Chiefs.
Ooh.
Listen, I think
There's
after
some
everything we've said this game, how easy this game should be and how much of a get right this game should be, I'm just very much not convinced that we're going to see that on Sunday. I think halfway through the first quarter, we're all going to be very sick of the game already, and I might go like wash my car in the middle of it in the second quarter, come back and suffer through the third quarter, suffer through the fourth quarter, and then Harrison Butker will kick a game-winning field goal probably, and we'll win 13-10. I just don't see I don't see that. I think we'll win. I say that every week, and I think we will win, but I do not think it's going to be pretty, like most of them have not been. So, Kyle.
Okay. I could see at least part of that being correct. I can see it being a very frustrating first half a quarter.
Yeah, I'm going into the game expecting frustrations. I'll just say that.
I also will say this. The last time, and it's been said by other places, but this was the first thought I had when I saw it happen on the sideline. This is the first thought I had when I saw him that animated at the podium after, and even in the couple of days since he's been animated in the times we've seen him. I have not seen Patrick this level of pissed off, aggravated, agitated, focused, angry since they got smoked by Tennessee. That was the last time he's been demonstratively, outwardly frustrated publicly. You do not see him do that often. That Tennessee game was the last time. What they did the next week and the week after and the week after and the week after was absolutely go on a tear and run it to the bowl. If you get that level of Patrick and you get what Tom and I talked about with Kadarius and you get Travis, because you're gonna get Travis's with Patrick's. Those two, you get one, you get the other. There's no in betweens. If you can get 1 to 2 other offensive weapons, Noah Gray, who we should be using more for God's sake, Kadarius Toney, Rashee Rice, You pick these guys. if you can get 1 to 2 more to buy into that level of Mahomes, you're going to get it from Mahomes and Kelsey. It's time. They know it. And I don't think you're going to see anything different from Patrick than we've seen in the past when he's this angry at everything going on around him. And you're going to deal with, I believe they call him Levon when he's in that mood, is what the universe dubbed that out. So good luck with Levon. And I think that's what you're going to get Sunday. Give me 31-7.
Okay. I don't doubt that we might see a Levon. My problem is I just don't think anyone else will show up. I mean, Pat, he'd be fired up, great, but that doesn't help the receivers catch the ball any better. So
yeah,
unless
he runs down field,
if it doesn't,
jams it in their face mask.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
we might see.
He may be throwing it hard enough that he can wedge it in their face mask.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
so
actually
that may not be a problem
either. Little prop bet might want to take Mahomes' rushing over this game. I'm just saying. He might be a lot of do it myself type things that we might see. So yeah, with that being said, everyone tune in on Sunday. We will hope to see some good Chiefs football. We will see some Chiefs football. Who knows if it'll be good or bad, but it is still Chiefs football, and it's still a lot better than what the Chargers are doing. So we gotta appreciate that. You know?
That murder is over. I mean, that mercy killing. I mean, that game is over.
Yeah. So there always could be worse. We got to remember that we are still in the golden era of Chiefs football. We are still in one of the most winningest teams and winningest decades in NFL history so far. So just gotta go through the dark times. You know, this is one of those times. And
God, isn't it nice that these are dark 8-5
yeah.
division?
Yeah, a lot better than the old dark times of the Chiefs, where we don't have a single receiver catching a touchdown on the year, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
14, Todd Haley was your coach.
Yeah,
Scott Pioli was the GM. It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. So, man, that's brought back some bad memories. It really could be worse. Jeez Louise. Yeah. So with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in on this one. Be sure to follow us at Kingdom Says Pod, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, all that jazz. Leave us a rating. Leave us some support. Subscribe. All that good stuff. We really appreciate the support. That helps us keep going and doing this thing. And yeah, we will see you guys next week after the Patriots game to finish out the rest of this regular season here and see how the rest of the Chiefs season goes. So
another mailbag soon, kids. Be on the lookout.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for that. We got some good things coming up. So thank you all for tuning in, watching once again, and we will see you guys on the next episode of The Kingdom Says.